fuck? I
That's
called him.
fine. He's dead. He's he's dead. By the way, we are indeed recording, and Artem is dying in front of my ears. He's some water went down his lungs, and now he's on the brink of extinction. He can't stop coughing. Please, you stop laughing. You're gonna mess it up even more. And he always he always calls
I
me
got
out.
hiccups as well now.
Yeah, he always calls me out on how monotonous our intros are. I'm not even gonna ask him how he's doing because it's clear that he's not doing well. Um, while Artem gets himself together, I'd like to shout out the Indian cricket team, absolute legends, beat the Australians, big up. Shout out Joe Biden as well, became president earlier today, big up. Um, Artem, are you alive and do you have any shout outs?
I think I'm back. Shout out to Trump for pardoning Lil Wayne and Kodak Black.
Fact. See that's shout out Trump for pardoning Lil Wayne, Kodak Black. Shout out to Lil Wayne for organizing the whole thing. Like that takes respect. Wheezy F, F is for finesse. Finessed the system. And the funny thing was that I actually went down that list of pardons and like Kodak, like so there was the name and there was a huge paragraph for everybody, like what they did, who they are, and stuff. And Kodak Black had the biggest paragraph to himself, and it was a pretty hilarious paragraph. I think I might have the screenshot on my phone. Let me have a look.
Did you
I do.
I rewatched, well, no, I didn't rewatch. Connor sent to me today the Trap Law Ross video, and it's
Right.
called something like Kodak Black is the stupidest criminal ever. Something it has Kodak Black and stupid in there anyway, like Kodak Black and
Yeah.
the stupidest crimes he's ever committed or something like that.
Yeah.
That man is so stupid. Like he's not even
He
a
is.
danger to society. He's just a danger
He's
to
just
himself.
yeah.
He's such an he's so idiot. He's such an idiot.
And that like he has this cycle where he goes to jail, he comes out and he sort of makes really good music. Because Kodak like though he sounds like "Ow, ow, ow," like though you can't really understand what he's saying when you look into the lyrics, he actually sometimes like speaks some facts and then he goes into jail again after releasing an album.
But
Um
the craziest thing for me is that he goes to jail for the same thing every
yeah,
single time. Like I'm
exactly.
pretty sure twice he's gone across the U.S. Canadian border with weapons.
With guns.
Yeah, and he's gone on and goes, yeah, sorry, my GPS led me the wrong way. Like what?
Nah, I wish Trump pardoned Bobby Shmurda as well. If you know Bobby Shmurda, I mean, he's
Of
been in
course.
jail for like 7.5 years. So, yeah, and every week a
To
new
be
story
fair,
comes. Oh, go on.
Bobby Schmurder doesn't have to come out later this year, right?
Yeah, and every week they release a story. Oh, he's gonna come out soon, and then it's like it's been going on for 3 years now. But anyway, the Kodak Black paragraph was. Did you know Kodak Black's actual name was Dewson Octave? Like octave as in like the eight notes of like that was his actual name, and he didn't really like it, so he changed his name legally to Bill Capri. So President Trump granted a commutation to Bill Capri, more commonly known as Kodak Black. Kodak Black is a prominent artist and community leader. This commutation is supported by numerous religious leaders, including pastor and rabbi. Additional supporters include Bernie Kerik, Hunter Pollack, Gucci Mane, Lil Pump, Lil Yachty, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, Jack Brewer, formerly of the NFL, and numerous other community leaders. Before his conviction and after reaching success as a recording artist, Kodak Black became deeply involved in numerous philanthropic efforts. In fact, he has committed to supporting a variety of charitable efforts. And this is like the biggest paragraph they gave to anybody. So, like,
Did did you see the back in the day when Kodak Black used to do like live videos on Instagram and stuff like that?
yeah,
Did you
that
see
photo
like
of him just staring into the camera.
no, I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking of there was like he used to do lives with his neighbors when he moved to the suburbs,
Right.
and it was just like rich old white people and him, and like he was like it was all of them like asking about his hair, and then one of them was like, "Oh, hey, you should meet my daughter," and all this stuff. And I was like, "How are you setting your daughter up with Kodak Black? Like, for fuck's sake!"
The funny thing is, he probably would have met her.
Yeah, 100%. Do you know? It also took me the longest time to know that that meme, you know, with the guy looking back from the car seat was Kodak. I It took me years to find that out. I never knew that until like maybe last year. You know the meme I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
Search
Uh,
up Kodak Black meme.
Kodak Black beam. This is not how we intended to start this podcast, by the way. Kodak Black is not on our docket. Oh, I just searched Kodak Black. Um, oh,
Oh yeah,
this.
that one.
That
Yeah,
is him.
I know, but it like
Jesus, yeah,
it
this I've
took.
only realized that now actually.
That's the thing. Like it's like I said, probably
Yeah,
last year was when I found that out, and I was like, that can't be him because I was so used to him like having the shitty fucking Lisa Simpson hair, and like being a bit chubby, and
yeah. This GIF as well, by the way, is a classic. I know you can already like the ZZ beat in the background and he's like dancing. That's
oh
classic.
man,
What a meme.
Zizi
Um,
was such a classic as well, by the way.
ZZ was a classic. I wasn't a big fan of it when it came out, but it's in my playlist and it doesn't get old. Sick song. So yeah, we don't have a guest by the way today. I don't know why it's taken me 6 minutes to tell everyone that it's a classic podcast. Um,
Imagine we had a guest here, and he was just like sitting, listening to us ramble shit for
yeah.
6 minutes, and was like,
Why did I
because
do
we
this?
always try to get guests on that are like at least mildly related
Russian
to
football.
Russian football. So like I feel like they'd feel like they're in the wrong podcast.
They would. No, listen, I told you this on one of our previous episodes. We only have about 3 months, 2 months of being a Russian football podcast. After that, it's like, no, we don't like, we're just going to switch to the most randomest shit, whatever comes to our head.
But
Um,
you know what I like? I like the fact that we are a Russian football podcast for when the season's on, and that
I
we're
know.
not when it's off. Because
Yeah.
like, well, like don't get us wrong, we're still gonna chat about Russian football, but there's so little to say about it that it's probably gonna be like a third of our podcast maximum, maybe even like a sixth or fifth or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but like it's good to keep it going, and I actually respect to the people who are still listening, who like listen to us because it's Russian football, but it's not really Russian football at this stage.
Yeah. Like this, some poor guy has had to sit through this screen being on the screen for 2 whole minutes. And I feel bad for you. And thanks a lot for listening to us. Thanks for bearing with us every week. Um, Artem, what do you think? The Knicks are making the playoffs, man. Yeah, by the way, before I ask Artem that, I am officially a New York Knicks fan. Those that listen to our NBA podcast would know that the Knicks were not initially on my short list. Um, and I didn't have any intention of becoming a Knicks fan, but I just had a little bet with Artem about like as a meme because they did really well to start, and I was like, oh, they're going to make the playoffs. And then I became
Hang on.
emotionally attached. And then Artem is going to tell the story of the bet because he loves to dunk on me. But Artem, go on.
So everybody who listens to the podcast at this stage knows about Hanu's tendency to jinx things. So
Absolutely.
so me and Hanu were talking one day, and he goes, "The Knicks are making the playoffs." And at this stage, I think they're probably fifth in the table, in the Eastern Conference. And I was like, "There's no fucking way. It's like 8 games into the season or whatever. Like, there's absolutely zero chance that they're gonna do that. Like, the season's so long. Like, it's only a matter of time till they start fucking up until like the Raptors and the Nets and stuff like that start performing." So Hanu goes, "Okay, I'll bet you." So we bet for €5, just our regular bet. So he bet me the next 3 or 4 games. I can't remember exactly. The
Yeah,
Knicks
this
lost.
you asked me before. I told you before the Jazz game that if you give me one more game, then I'll do the bet with you. Then they won this
Yeah,
game. Then I did the bet with him. Then they lost
yeah.
all of this. And then I believe after the Nets game, I said,
So
Artem offered actually very kindly, yo man, I just feel bad for you. You know what? Keep the €5. I don't mind. I don't want to see you going through this pain. Then they lost to the Cavaliers, and then ever since they've won both of those games. And bet or not, Artem, they are making the playoffs. I don't care what you say. I'm dead
I still
serious.
believe they're not going to, but um, look, if they do, then that's a serious hustle. Like I still think, look, I don't really have a team. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I like the Heat. I like the Hornets. Um, I like the Raptors. There's like I'm just a fan of basketball. I just enjoy the game.
Fan of the
So
sport.
yeah, exactly. So like I still think that there's a lot of teams in there that can overtake the Knicks, and it is a long season. Like we're 15 games in at this stage. There's
Yeah,
what 82.
I think so.
Yeah, so like there's a long way to go. Like I'm honestly I'm so surprised that the Raptors started so shit. Same with the Heat because obviously they did quite well last season. But yeah, interesting shit with the Nets as well. Have three insane players now.
Jamal Harden
So
joined them.
yeah, that man, and he's put up like two A+ performances by the way
He has.
since he's joined. So I actually have I have KD as my star player in my fantasy team, and I'm
Right.
genuinely thinking of taking him out now because like if there's ever going to be a team with Kyrie, Harden, and KD, man, like he's just not going to get as many points as I'd hope him to get. So, I don't know. Any suggestions for who I should put in there and use as my star player instead? Any Knicks
Ju-
players,
Julius Randle.
of course.
Julius Randle. RJ Barrett is good. Emmanuel Quickly is good. I don't think I can actually name the other two in the starting five, but I'm sure they're good as well. Um, and so, who else is there? Mitchell Robinson, Austin Rivers. I know Austin Rivers, and I know Dennis Smith Jr. Hey, they actually have a nice team. Names. Um, but Artem. Okay, let's get to Russian football. Artem, what do you think of Akhmat getting banned off of YouTube, man?
I think it's really stupid. Like, I'm not really sure how. Like, this is gonna maybe sound a little bit suspicious to some people, but I don't think people should be banned from social media altogether. Like, I didn't agree with Trump getting banned. I don't agree with Ahmad getting banned, and I think that like it's a really steep slope from here if they're gonna start banning like football clubs who okay yeah there's sanctions against them, but like their YouTube really like is that's really what you're
So
doing
that's
here.
the thing, you know.
Um,
I think with Akhmat, the thing is, like, there are mad places that have sanctions that like still have running YouTubes. So I don't
yeah.
know why Akhmat got banned. I hope they get it back. Because they're not banned off of Twitter, they're not banned off of Facebook. So I mean,
Well,
no one was watching Akhmat YouTube anyway. It is pretty sad, and I don't agree with it at all. It's pointless and it's really frivolous. So
has um has Sartak by any chance gotten in touch with any of the guys at Akhmat? Because I feel like that would be a smart move. No, it doesn't look like they have.
look at us, look at us.
There we
We run
go.
we run the site.
No, but
um,
seriously, like if Sartak, if you're listening, if you haven't gotten in touch with Akhmat yet, I think you should. Um, I can't imagine they'd turn you down. Like they could be a big push for Sport Rex as well. So just
exactly. If
just a
you
suggestion.
yeah, and if you do get in touch with Akhmat, put them in touch with me because I'm Akhmat's only fan outside of Russia, and I do a lot for the club.
Hanu does spend $20 every month on Ahmad's OnlyFans.
No, I do not do that. But I feel like it's only we'll save that topic for another day. But I do feel like football club Patreons and OnlyFans will become a thing. Patreon I think still is a thing, and I think but it should become more common. OnlyFans I don't know because it's similar, but I do feel like some jackass club will experiment with it.
I mean,
Um,
Hanu, like it's. I don't think it's gonna be Patreon and all those things because like they're external sites who take a cut of the stuff as well. Like they, a lot of. I'm pretty sure every like major club. Jeez, what the hell happened to my voice there? Sorry.
you're
Um,
good.
I finally hit puberty. Uh,
29 years of
no,
age.
Jesus, I'm not
My
that old.
bad.
Like,
My bad.
yeah. So, what was I saying?
You were saying that bit like every side takes a cut or something like that.
Oh yeah, like Patreon and stuff like that take a cut. Like for example, like you can become a member on a lot of clubs. Like if you're a member of Manchester United, doesn't necessarily mean you have a season ticket or anything. You're just a member of the club, and you might get like discounts on like jerseys or that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Maybe first choice on tickets that are sold to the public.
yeah.
Like clubs already have that. Like it's nothing new.
They do, but I feel like those are there's a few issues with that. I think those haven't evolved into the digital era. I think they're still too focused on tickets and jerseys and really small things that no one cares about. And they're really based on like the local area. So Man United, obviously massive worldwide club, but I don't think like in Russian football or in any obscure league, I think clubs need to, small or big, they need to introduce membership schemes that are available to the public all over the world that are similar to like Patreon. So like you could, if you're a small club, let's say, you get, remember those e-tickets or those e-tickets, yeah, those things that came in when like the Belarusian craze was mad, where they would put your name on a jersey or your cutout in the game.
Yeah.
Something like that, make that a regular thing. If you're like a really small club, like have like a Twitch stream where you can interact and talk to the players, make a Discord. I just feel like football media sort of needs to, especially if you're an obscure club, needs to evolve into the digital world. And I think Patreon, like tiers of that, could help, because a lot of people still say that if you're a season ticket holder, then you should at minimum have access to the telecast of your game. So if you can't go, then you should have like a match pass to view stream it online. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think it should become common, but I don't think it has already. So I just feel like they those
I wouldn't be
services
against
might help.
I wouldn't be against clubs selling like obviously local, and not every club has the rights to stream their own games, but if they do, I wouldn't be against an online season pass either. Like, because not
Yeah,
everyone wants to go to, or not everyone can. Like, a lot of people support clubs in other countries and stuff. So,
yeah, exactly. I mean,
uh,
just I think it's just like the membership phenomenon is sort of evolve and adapt to the digital age.
yeah,
And
I
yeah, so
do
that's
like your idea that you get to like if you had a Patreon, you get to communicate with the players once in a while or whatever. Like that'd be cool, but
yeah,
it would
some
only
shit like
work for
that.
clubs that were like Jesus, like FNL, maybe not even the top five in FNL, like below that. Like I don't think it's one of those
Yeah,
things that
it's tough.
any of the bigger clubs are gonna go for.
Yeah, but I do feel like it is an avenue that needs to be explored. Um,
It's something that needs to be experimented with for sure.
yeah,
Maybe there are some clubs who have already experimented with it and found out
yeah,
that
I'm
it's not
sure.
profitable and that's why. But for sure, there does need to be more interaction.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, and I see like completely, this is like off topic, but I see like a lot of apps and stuff like the Socios is one. I don't know if you've heard of it, where they say that they're run off blockchain technology and they're sort of like fan tokens. So I believe having a fan token like helps you affect the club in a very minute way. And
Okay.
I don't get the point of them. Maybe I haven't done enough research, but they seem to be doing really well for themselves. I'll give you their like link or just their name after the pod so that you can look into it further. Maybe we could
Yeah, for
discuss that
sure.
next week. But like, yeah, that's another thing that really seems to be picking up, and I haven't gotten the appeal. But Artem, transfer season, Akhmat are winning the league like soon.
No, no.
Okay, Ural are
You
winning
will
it.
see Akhmat Grozny get relegated before you'll see them even in the Champions League spaces.
I don't think that's a very bold prediction, but sure.
Okay, fine. Even in the European spaces.
No, that they're getting to the European spaces next season.
No, I'm gonna say that they're more likely to get relegated.
No, you're wrong.
This
Because
could be a long bet, like
I don't care.
we were to have one.
I don't care. But I do fully believe in Akhmat. They've signed Gabriel Yanku, and this guy, just looking at him, he just reverberates like goal scorer energy. Saw some of his clips. He reminds me a bit of Smolov, and I think he's going to do really well. They also signed some 6 foot 5 head ass from Slovakia, who's like Sobolev but Slovakian. Fair play. If they get a good striker, if they experiment with their squad a little bit, sign a few more players, I think they'll be doing pretty well. Um, Apart from that, Artem, Rotor keeps signing Kazakhstanis and Georgians. What are your thoughts on that? They're playing FM in real life.
Big respect. They're clearly using that whatever it is non-foreign status that those players have.
Yeah,
So I gotta rate it. Like it's a smart avenue to go on because obviously Russian players are quite overpriced with the limit. So if they can get in some decent players from Kazakhstan, Georgia, or any of those countries that don't count as foreigners, then it's a smart move for sure, and they'll only be able to sell them on for more in the future if so as well. So
Yeah, facts. Andrew Flint's Ural keeps signing like players, which on like in a space of a 2 day period they signed 6 players, which is mad for
Yeah,
them.
that's honestly big. Like I'm actually that's quite exciting, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I hope those players get do well as well. Like, but the big transfer this week is obviously is
Pablo.
Pablo,
What do you think
the
of
big
Pablo?
man.
What a name, man like
Yeah,
Pablo.
like you know what? I haven't heard much about him, but from what I've seen on like say Twitter from like French accounts and stuff like that, people seem to be surprised that he didn't play more at Porto. And
Yeah, yeah. No, go on.
okay, no, I don't see it.
You don't see it?
No,
See, you don't
no.
see? You really don't see it? You see it,
Okay, it's the eyes. It's the eyes.
but you do see it.
Yeah, I see the eyes.
All right, see.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that he deserved to play more. And it seems like a good deal. Like even like looking at his transfer value is 8 million and they got him for what, two or something, 2.5.
Yeah,
So really, really nice move from Locomotive. He's 29, so he's got, a few years in him. So hopefully he can do well. Could be a really interesting player to look out for, and maybe he'll get back into the Brazilian national team as well. Who knows?
yeah. We with like Chorluca is aging. He's like 34, 35, and Murilo is really good, so that Brazilian link up could be a bit mad.
Yeah.
But this did have to mean, Artem, that we lost a legend of Russian football, easily a Hall of Meme inductee. Man like Rajkovic leaves Lokomotiv. Um, I don't know what they thought when they signed him. This like everyone predicted this. I predicted this and didn't jinx it, which is insane by my standards. But do you have a few final words for Rajkovic, Artem?
I'm not gonna lie, even though he hasn't been like you said, he's a bit of a meme. I'm kind of surprised to see him released. Like, did they just not have any foreigner spots left or what?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Yeah.
Okay, well then that makes sense, I guess. Because I was like, otherwise I was like, why wouldn't you just keep him until the end of the season? Like, it's not like Chorluka has a fantastic injury record where he's gonna be fucking spotless, and it's not like you can't use a backup from time to time. But yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Like he did get memed from the start. Like you're saying, he wasn't absolutely terrible. Like we've seen worse players than him, but just his story, the fact that he got Lokomotiv knocked out of the Champions League, it was funny. He will go down as a meme. But apart from that, we don't really have any big transfers. Some stuff happened in the FNL. We don't really care about the FNL. Our man Safa Hadi is back playing football, Artem.
Let's go.
Yeah, he man like Iraq. He was out. I thought he actually left the club, but apparently he was injured for mad long, and now he's playing, taking part in friendlies and stuff. So big up to him.
That's big. Can I just
That is big.
say the total market value of the league is almost 1 billion? Are
Yeah,
we
it
gonna
is.
reach that at some point?
I think so. I think
Have we reached it before?
I don't actually know. Must be a way to find out. Uh, uh,
I don't think so. I'd say that.
maybe back in the day in like 2012, 13 when like Russia had money and stuff, like a lot of money.
No, but I think that there's a lot of players that are worth like on average more now.
Look at
Like
man like Anzi. Look at man like
see,
Anzi.
I'm not gonna calculate that.
Yeah, that might seem that's a bit close, isn't it?
That looks like it's there. To be honest, that
Right.
looks like it's. Yeah, that's past 1 billion. Holy shit,
Look at how many players Anzi had in their squad though.
that's absolutely insane.
That's why we need Anzi back, man. That is way
I
past
think
1 billion.
yeah, I think that at this point though, Angie, I think this might have been the player where the summer where they signed loads of players and then realized that like the owners are pulling out and
Bro, this shit was
sold
one
them
and a
all
half
back.
billion. Russia was big, bro. This was 1.5 billion.
That's huge.
Man. And I did tell Artem about the theory. Was there no foreigner limit at this point?
Uh, no, I don't think so.
We
No,
need to
there
go
couldn't
back.
have been. No.
We need to go
Hang
back.
on, no. Hang on. I'm trying to think. There was definitely some kind of limit because I remember they said something like, "Oh, bro, I don't know. I have no
Nah.
idea. Genuinely,
Oh, we
I
need we
don't
need to
remember."
go back, man. I did tell Artem that I have a little theory about how Russian football is going to take off soon. Because I just feel like all the ingredients are there, and I don't know if it will ever be this big, but I do want an Anzi-esque club to be in the mix somewhere. Gotta love Anzi. Um, what the hell? This guy's playing in India? You know him? Sharif
No.
Muhammad. He's an Afghan Russian player. He's the only Afghan to have played in Russia, and now
Hang
he's in
on.
India.
Can you go down to the bottom of that page? I just want to see something. I think this is the summer. This is
Look at
the
how many
summer.
players they had, man.
Hmm.
Anzi had
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah. I don't know if this was the summer because, like, see, the summer I'm talking about, Kokorin moved to Angie and then 2 weeks later moved back. So maybe he was just never registered.
I think no. I
Because
think
he.
that might have been the previous year. I think that was the previous year.
Hmm.
That's why we need Anzi. Russian
This is
football
this is
always need that.
brilliant content. I bet. I bet everybody who's
Yeah.
listening is like, this is fantastic.
By the way, if you are the one person that listens to us on Spotify or where we don't have the screen, we are looking at past market values of Russian football, and we have discovered that Russian football actually, like the league, had a market value of over a billion in the year 2013-14.
And now it's just above half of that, essentially
Yeah,
950 billion.
950. Russian football did fall off, which is sad, which is pretty sad. I do think it will be back. Adam, what do you think of man like Kokorin going to Fiorentina?
Love it. Absolutely love it. I think he's going to do well there. Seems like he's their priority for this winter market as well, which is interesting. Um, Obviously we talked. They have Callahan, they have Ribery,
Very-
so like they have players around the striker, but it doesn't seem like they have like a really like a striker who stands out.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, who was it? Kuame is his name, or
Yeah, they have a Serbian guy who's got 6 goals. He's their top scorer, and they have Kwame. And
yeah.
Kwame was being linked to like loads of big clubs for like 15 million, and he only has 1 goal for the season. So maybe he's a winger or an attacking midfielder in real life. I don't know. So
Well, there you
yeah,
go. So like actually just go on to Fiorentina there. Yeah, so like I think it's going to be a good move. I hope it's going to be a good move. Like if the way that okay, Miranchuk didn't play the greatest today, but if like
Miranchuk's
the way
done well so far though. Like I don't care what
yeah
anyone says.
yeah he has for sure. I think that if Kokorin can play as well as him or Shomurodov or like you know
Yeah,
am I blanking? Is there another
Hernani,
player?
Hernani.
And Lanny. Yeah, that would be sick. Like it seems like Fiorentina aren't going to go much above mid-table anyway, so it'd be good to uh, good to get him in there and play in an Italian team abroad. Not the way I thought it would happen, but should be good.
Yeah. You think he'll go though? Because you are our Kokorin insider.
Yeah, I'm like based on the sources that I've been saying,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's like 90%. And to be honest, like that ended up being a good deal for Spartak as well.
A really
Um,
good deal.
Like they got him in for free, paid him half a year's wages, and sold him off for 5 million, or are selling him off for 5 million. So
Fair
I
play.
thought I think everybody's winning in this scenario. To be honest,
Yeah, I think if he can manage to stay focused and play well, I think he will ball out. His ability is there, no question. I don't know if he'll go.
this
That's my only
Fiorentina
concern.
team, sorry, this Fiorentina team seems crazy.
That you know what? That's the thing. Like I've started to watch this Serie A because of Shomurodov, and every single Italian club has like insane pulling power, but they're all mid. Like I'm gonna pull up Genoa's squad. I'm gonna pull up Udinese's squad. Here we have Milenkovic, Quarta. We have like players that we know, right? Bonaventura, Valero, Ribery. Like, this is mad. Then you look at Genoa, they've got Perrin, FIFA legend, Criscito, Kevin Strootman, Shomunov, obviously, Zappacosta. Like, look at this, man. How are you 17th or 16th? Nah,
Yeah,
even
that's
Torino and
honestly that is
Parma,
insane. Like,
even Torino and Parma have really good squads. So I don't know, man. But that look at this, by the way. The rumor is that he'll go from where he is to where he is, and it's down
it's
for.
only 41% chance.
Nah, you know the full form of Genoa CFC is Genoa Cricket and Football Club.
You're taking the piss.
I'm not taking the piss.
How? Why?
Genoa Cricket and Football Club.
No fucking wonder you're so happy about Genoa and
Exactly.
following
It's
them.
yeah, but no, I do hope Kokorin goes. Some guy they said that his salary is going to be 1.7 million a year. And of course that's apparently less. He earns 3 million at Spartak, but then someone said that salaries in Italian football are always reported after tax.
I
Someone
read
did
that
the
as well, yeah.
Yeah, someone did the 4D chess on that, so that's pretty mad. What's the tax rate like in Russia, Artem? Because you know about this stuff.
As far as I
Yeah,
know, like, oh, okay, right. They changed it recently. It was 13% before for everyone on every tax, which obviously is quite favorable. But I think it's 15% now for people who earn more than like 50,000 euros a year or something like that. It's in that region. So like, look, 15% of whatever 3 million is only like whatever 450k. So he'd be making 2.5 million in Russia compared to 1.7. I don't think he's going to be struggling. So
yeah. He's
I'm all for
definitely
him
not
moving.
going to be struggling, obviously, but it's up to him because he is a paycheck merchant, as we know. Um, but I do want to see him play with Ribery. That's going to be mad. That is going to be pretty bad.
Oh, it's going to be
Uh,
insane. I really look forward to that, and even Callahan and stuff like that. Like, it's just a mad team. It's just a
it
mad
really
team
is.
full of like old players who like you're like Martin Caceres, like what the fuck? How is he there? And like even Amrabat and Valero, of course, Bonaventura.
Italian football is like Turkish football, but better. Like the names you
Yeah.
see, the ages, massive squads. It's just like that. But yeah, moving on. It's time for some fun, and the RPL today published this March Madness sort of bracket, which basically set out to find out who the best foreigner in Russian football history is or was through a poll. And I'm actually looking at this full thing for the first time, the results and everything. Artem, we're going to do it like step by step. We're going to see who you would vote for. We're going to make it a little nice segment. So, first of all, Dominguez versus, and we're going to go through the names just as they come because it's a lot easier that way. And we're going to save you from of course, the really weird final pairing, which I'm sure Artem will talk about as well. But Artem, to start, who do you
Hang
think
on,
is?
can I
Yeah,
just
go
say
on.
that I actually think it makes sense for us to just start at the last eight because I don't think anything's outrageous from anything that's been taken out of there. To be honest, like I don't think we're gonna miss like I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
Like
let
for
me.
example, like
Would
Pereira is
you
never gonna
choose?
go ahead of Dubia or anything like that.
You would
That's
choose. You would choose Kisuke Honda over Noboa.
no, I actually chose Nabo. I voted in this. But like, look,
Yeah, that's fair. That's
all I'm
fair.
saying is that there's nothing too outrageous there. I just feel like it might be too long of a segment if we went from the
Yeah,
very
that's
end.
true. That's true. We'll only discuss like the outrageous choices anyway. Even if there are a few in round of 16, we'll miss out on the really obvious ones. Azmoun or Reto, you would go to Azmoun.
I actually that one was one of the hardest ones for me because like Aspen's done more for the league, but like Eto
Yeah.
was just so fucking like big to have there, and even being able to play him in FIFA as Angie like. But like yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like I'll take Aspen there.
All right, fair enough. And this side, like Ivanovic versus Danny is the only other controversial one. You would take Danny?
Yeah, I think I take Danny. Like I think Ivanovic, if he had been in the Russian league, like look, don't get me wrong, he's played for both Lokomotiv and Zenit, so he's played in Russia quite a lot. But Danny just was there consistently for a long time at his peak. I think if Ivanovic was in Russia at his peak as well, he might actually be in the final, to be honest. But he wasn't.
Hold up. How did Vidic lose to Krakowiak?
Because Vidic didn't really play that long in Russia. Like, I feel like people are kind of like, this is the thing with these polls is people have different criteria. Like, for example, I would have picked Krakowiak over Vidic because, like, first of all, when they played in the league, Krakowiak is better than Vidic. Like, second of all,
yeah, sure, okay, fine.
Second of all, recency bias plays in this massively, and that's why Vlasic is in the fucking final.
Exactly, recency bias is insane in this. So Vlasic versus Wernbloom, I'm taking Wernbloom on that. Even though I think Vlasic is super talented, I think he's going to go on to be one of the best in the world. I would take Wernbloom.
I'm saying out straight right now, Vlasic doesn't win any of the ones past the round of 16 for me.
That's fair. So you don't think he beats Timashuk?
He doesn't.
Wait. No, this poll is insane. I've only begun to discover how bad it is. Krakowiak, Timashuk is fine. Right? We agree with that.
Yeah.
Promise Asmoon, Promise easily. Promise should have been in the final, in fact.
Yeah, Promise should have been in the final. No doubt about it.
Exactly. Carvalho versus Honda. I don't really know much about Carvalho, but all I hear is that he was insane for CSK in 2005. So
Honda's the boy, like.
Honda is the boy, to be fair. On this side, you have Witzel and Krasic. Witzel is fine. Lombards and Hulk. Hulk is fine. Wagner, Love, Kurani. See, this bracket is fine overall. The semi-final. That's the quarterfinal. My bad. Vlasic versus Timashuk. I'm taking Timashuk as well.
All day.
All day. Promise Honda. Promise all day.
Like, I think the thing is, Vlasic, if he, for example, wins the league with CSK this season, maybe there's something to be considered. I just like don't get me wrong, like quality wise, he's amazing, but I just think Timashuk's like done more.
Exactly, that's the thing. Because I think
more of a legend.
I think Vlasic will leave in the summer, and I think he must leave in the summer. He has to leave in the summer, like for his career, for the league. And I think it'll be like Vidic and Ivanovic, where Vlasic will be somewhere else in his prime, but in his prime he'll probably be better than a lot of these players.
Yeah, facts.
So, the Hulk and Witzel. This is the Zenit bracket. Where do you think that should go?
Hulk, there's no doubt about it. Hulk should win this. Like, I completely agree with the final result.
Yeah, I think they messed up the brackets a little bit, honestly. Like,
but the thing is, if they'd moved anyone over to anywhere else, it would have been the same. Like, do you know what? Like, I would have been interested to see something like some real like for example, Vidic against Ivanovic, because like then some people would be thinking a bit more. Like, compare people even by position at the start, and then
Yeah, they did it in some places, like Cesar Navas and Lombards. They did it there. They did it with.
No, but I don't think that was on purpose, though.
You don't?
I think that's no. I don't think. Well, like, just based on how like the rest of them have, it's not like.
That's fair. Wagner Love, Danny. Who wins? Wagner Love for me.
Wagner Love against Danny. I don't know. That's actually a really good one. For me, it's probably Danny.
Really?
Well, I can also I can see why people would say Wagner Love.
Okay, that's.
I just I'm a big fan of Danny, and like even when like Hulk and Witzel were like the main guys in the Zenit team, like Danny was the one who like. I don't know. He was so creative. Like, I don't think I think without him, like Hulk and Witzel maybe wouldn't have looked as good as they did.
That's fair. No. That's what I would choose Wagner Love. But I mean, I'm not mad at anyone choosing Danny now. Hulk is in the final. That's fair. Vlasic and Promise. I think Promise walks this. I don't know how Vlasic won. I Promise is a better player than Vlasic. Promise in his peak is better than, I don't know. Promise did more for the league. Promise is a Spartak legend. Promise was there at Spartak in his prime. He could come back, by the way. What do you think of Promise coming back? Apparently negotiations are underway. They're going well.
I'd like it. I think it'd be good. Like I think that he's not past it yet. I think he can still offer a lot to the league and for Spartak. So
Yeah.
I'd be interested in seeing that happen. To be honest, I just hope that he can get back to that form and like challenge Vlasic for that title of best player in the league again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. But Promise wins against Vlasic. Promise and Hulk, you think is that easy for Hulk?
It's not even a question. It's not
I
even
think
close.
I think ability wise, it's not even a question.
But
I,
like
I'm
prom
playing
prom.
devil's advocate. Honestly, I would vote for
What
Hulk.
age is Promise?
29, I think 30 maybe.
Yeah, so like
We have Google
the
actually.
last 3 years or so, right? He's been is that 2 or 3 years he's been gone from the league.
Right
Like his prime should have been at the
now,
clubs he moved to afterwards. It should have been.
I guess
Like Hulk's prime, and it was his prime, he spent in Russia.
that's true. No, I mean, listen, I love Hulk. I'm not gonna go against it. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna
It's
go
not
against
even
it. Yeah,
close.
it's not even close. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hulk. Sorry for disrespecting you like that. But do you feel like there's anyone in here, like there's anyone that's just not in here that you would have wanted to see in this bracket? I feel like Ahmed Musa maybe. Um,
Mm,
I feel like I don't know if few of these guys. I don't know if I would have put them. Let's actually have a look at Premier League like top goal scorers or anything if we can
I
find
think
them.
they're probably all in there, to be honest. Like I don't think Musa makes it into that table.
You don't think so?
No, not really.
What else we got? Mbak Busufa. I don't know why Mbak Busufa just keeps coming to my head. Um, what about Old Wanderson?
Hold
Think old,
Wanderson.
yeah, because he's
Mm,
like really mad at like Dinamo, isn't he? He's like a big player there.
yeah, I don't think he's in there though, to be honest. Like
That's
I
fair.
think that
That's fair.
I actually think that they've done quite well with the list of 32 players.
Right.
Like I don't think there's much to debate really. Um, but then when it gets to obviously the fan voting and stuff like that, there's a few questionable choices. Like I don't think Flashy should have made it as far as he did, but
Yeah. No, I'm surprised
that's fine.
Zabalotny didn't win.
I mean,
Listen, man.
forgot he lost his Russian passport.
Yeah. No, he has a world passport. He can go anywhere he wants. No one's gonna stop him.
He has an ISIS passport.
um, what do you want to do next? Do you want to do Dejan Lovren's interview or do you want to fix Russian football?
Fucking hell, Jesus! Like those are the exact opposite of each other. I'll let you
Exactly.
choose.
I'm gonna choose Dejan Lovren because I think the fixing Russian football part is gonna be a bit longer. Um, so on the early episodes of this podcast, we used to do interviews a lot. No, we didn't do interviews. We would read off interviews, and we thought that they were funny. And Dejan Lovren, um, the QAnon, Papi Giloborgi, the Republican Jamal Tabidze, the anti-vaxxer Konstantin Rausch, anything you want to call him, he's done a massive interview. Now, Artem, what is it with Russian interviewers asking questions they shouldn't ask? Because if you look at this entire page over here, right? There was a earthquake in Croatia recently. It was pretty devastating. It's no laughing matter. And Lovren is Croatian. He was there. He actually, very creditably like gave his hotel to people that were having trouble. He did charity work. But this man here has basically relieved Lovren of his PTSD. It's like a therapy session, right? At the time of the earthquake, were you in Zagreb or outside the city? It's like he's like interviewing him about the earthquake for a while. And he goes on to say, have you ever experienced something that in my life? Never. No, not just me. No one in Zagreb has ever experienced anything like this. This thing was, alongside the virus, this thing was awful and even worse. What do you mean worse? And then was this the strongest earthquake in Croatia's living memory? How many people died? This story is similar to what happened to you as a child. What's going on here, Artem?
It sounds like the interviewer just was so interested about the earthquake. It's like he hadn't heard about it.
Yeah,
So he was
it's
just
like,
like he's just like, wait, what?
how many died? So there was an earthquake? Oh, damn, that's crazy. So like, what did you do? I mean,
Yeah, literally, that's exactly what it is.
um, and then he's like, incredible. I mean, it's not incredible, interviewer. The rest is just like football stuff, but there we are coming to a point where we will assume roles. Artem, do you want to be anti-vax Lovren or do you want to be the interviewer?
Oh Jesus, I'll be the interviewer. I'll let you be the interviewee for once.
All right, fair enough. Um, 1 second, right, right. So start from this question.
Right, I'm gonna do my own translation because that's a bit shit.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
not
mind
actually
getting
a translation.
vaccinated?
It's on the English side, so I don't know why they did that.
No, I know, but it's still it is still the translation. Like
All
the
right,
the
fair.
interview, I think was in or at least they were asking the questions in Russian. Um, do you mind getting vaccinated?
No, I'm fine with it.
Is it important for you which country's vaccine is used?
I mean, if I had to choose, I would probably go for the Indian one, but I would choose the Russian one. He didn't say the Indian one. That's me. But he said he would choose the Russian one.
I was so confused there for a second. I was like, I don't think we're reading off the same page, man. Why?
Because I think that Russia is often portrayed wrongly in the West in an unfair way.
So he just wants to prove a point, essentially.
Exactly. So it's like it's not about which saves lives. It's just that nah, bro, we got to prove a point. I mean, fair enough.
I'd do the same thing if I had the choice. In the spring, you questioned the dangers of the virus. Has your attitude changed since then?
I never said that there was no virus, which he did, by the way. I talked about freedom of choice and freedom of thought. Everyone should have a choice, and everyone has the right to choose who he is and who he wants to be. Nobody should decide things for others. The same goes for other issues. For example, when I read that those who are unvaccinated should not be able to get a job, I question these issues and the human rights involved. Do you agree, Artem? And do you actually agree, Artem? What is he talking about?
I think that people were conspiring and or sorry, not conspiring. They were putting forward conspiracy theories that in the future, if you don't have a vaccine, you're not going to be able to get a job. You're going to be essentially a caveman, and you're going to be exiled from society. And in reality, stuff like that's never going to happen. So I question how people even come to those kind of conclusions. Um, that's pretty much my opinion of it. I'd like, okay, fair enough. You, like, get
Right,
it,
fair
don't
enough.
get it. Like at the end of the day, I don't think you're going to be exiled from society. Um,
Yeah, you're not. But yeah, next question, Artem.
you contacted Bill Gates on Instagram and said, "Game over, Bill. People are not blind." What did you mean by that? Was it connected to the 5G stories?
You contacted Bill Gates on Instagram. No, I was talking about vaccination.
Why? Do you think it's dangerous?
I don't think vaccinations are dangerous. I'm talking about freedom of choice. Nobody should be able to force me to do anything. If I want to go for a walk, I should be able to go for a walk without asking permission. And I believe and I believe that everyone should have this freedom of choice. If you want to get vaccinated, please. If not, then accept the potential dangers responsibly.
So you don't think the coronavirus has any links to the 5G technology?
No.
Okay, right. Well, I think that like
Yeah. That's hilarious.
oh, I was just
That is
like it seems like these interviewers, whether it's Zena or anyone else, it seems like they're always like, how much can we piss this person off before
exactly.
they're just
They
like,
yeah.
stop.
Like they ask the Asian guys if they eat dogs. They keep asking Lovren about anti-vaxxing and stuff. It's just weird. It is indeed weird. Adam, if you could ask Lovren one question, what would it be?
Uh, would you come on the podcast?
That's smart. I like it. I respect that. I didn't think of that. I don't know what I would ask Lovren, honestly.
Well, don't steal my question.
Do you think Lovren would come on the podcast? I think he would.
I don't know, man. I would, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because I do believe he is a nice guy. But like if you were like face to face in front of Lovren and you asked him, "Hey, yo, man, do you want to come on our podcast?" I don't think he'd say no.
No,
I
he'd
don't
probably
know.
make like a 10 or 15-minute appearance, I'd say. He seems like a
Yep.
really cool dude.
That would be a
I
mad.
like.
That would be insane for our podcast. That would propel us to fame. Um, but yeah, Adam, do you think the Russian football league should be um, truncated to 12 teams, and that there should be a division of 6 and 6 teams, and then at the end of the season, 4 teams from the FNL should play 4 teams from the RPL? What do you think of those reforms that were going around?
I actually forgot that that was this week. So when you
It
said
was.
we're gonna fix the league, I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah,
No,
we haven't fixed the league.
in short, no. In long, no. I think that you didn't let me finish the sentence. You just kind of just laughed after I said no. Uh, no, I don't think that's the right thing to do. Like I think that the amount of teams that we have in the league right now is good. Um, like I didn't even read the what you call it, the
Proposal.
yeah, the proposal, because it just sounded like shit to me from the start, because there's always these like crazy reforms for the RPL that go around, like there was a couple last year that was like we'll go to 18 teams, and now they're
Yeah,
talking about bringing it down to 12. So it's like it clearly they don't really know what they
what to
want to
do.
do. It seems
Yeah.
like they want to just do change for the sake of change. I think that the way the league's operating right now, 16 teams is perfect. Like 30 games for the season is grand, especially when you have such a long winter break. Um, I think that like there'd be no point in changing that, and I don't think I'd enjoy it if it broke up into 6 and 6 teams like the Scottish League or something like that.
Yeah.
I prefer like being able to see like the lower teams play against the higher teams at any point of the season, and not just for the first half or whatever.
Yeah, and a couple of guys put forward some weirder proposals. They were like, "Oh, you know what? No, kill it down to 10." And I'm like, "No, fam, chill out." Like most people, 99% of people were like, "No, we don't like this." But there were a few who were like, "No, bring it down to 10. This is really sensible." I mean, like Russia is too big to have just 12 clubs in the main league. I understand if like Azerbaijan is 8 or if Ireland is 10, but Russia is way too big to have just 12 clubs. And that's like what? That's like 7 Moscow clubs, Krasnodar, Zenit, Rostov. Like a few clubs that we like would go away.
Yeah, no
But
doubt. Like to
yeah,
like if it was 12, then Jesus, like Curly wouldn't go back up, Orenberg wouldn't go back up.
yeah,
Let's just say like who's at the bottom now? Like Himki would be going down. Tambov, I don't really care about them anyway.
yeah.
Um, Arsenal, Tola, Ural, those teams would be like in danger. So like I think we're good now. Like I think there's no point. Like if I was told I had to choose between going down to 12 teams or going up to 18, I'd choose 18.
Going up to 18, yeah, true. And since then, like, and you know what was crazy about this proposal was that they were saying that we're going to cut the FNL down to 12 as well, and that would kill Russian football.
That's so
Like,
fucking stupid. I didn't understand that at all. Like the FNL,
no, no, no.
like
See, so yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Like okay, like if
yeah,
you were to do that with the FNL, then at least cut it into half or something like that, where it's like 12 and
exactly.
12. Like there's 20. There's what 20,
20, I think 20, right? Is that
20
20?
even. It's either
Might be
20 or
22.
22 or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, something like that.
So like if you're gonna do that, then cut them in half. Have the East teams playing the East teams and the West teams playing the West teams, and like have like one team from each category doing a playoff at the end of the season with the Russian football teams. That would make more sense.
Exactly. And I mean, there lots of proposals keep flying about. One was that the FNL is basically going to be a youth league, and not going to be like older players and stuff. I think that would ruin Russian football as well. Then
It's just
more
fucking
proposals.
stupid.
That's stupid.
Already I don't even like the fact that they have like Spartak 2 and Zenit 2 and all those teams
Yeah,
in the lower leagues. I don't like that already. So having
I
more
don't
of
know
that.
why they're so hell bent on removing professional football clubs and just pushing this youth. Like for that, like you don't get better youth players just by like making more youth teams. There's lots more that goes into that. You need infrastructure, you need good coaches and stuff. And then there's actual humans involved as well. Like what happens to the players, the high amount of players that will just be out of business, that won't have any jobs if you just make the FNL a youth league. So I mean, I don't get it at all.
Oh,
But
I'd rather the FNL take all of the Spartaks and the Zenits, like farm teams, and send them all into their own league of like Zenit 2,
exactly, yeah,
Krasnodar 2, or whatever. I'd much prefer that, and I think it'd be better for everyone. Like, even the teams that are getting sent in there.
exactly. And that is our segment. We've already gone through a bit of it, but Artem, imagine you were made the dictator of Russian football for a bit. How do you can do anything to Russian football? What do you do? We're mainly talking about club football, so you can kill the limit if you want. You have all the power in the world. What do you do to fix Russian football? And
Hmm.
you can't say that I've just given you a freestyle because I did bring this topic up to you like 3 days ago, so I'm free of that at
I
least.
think one of the things I'd do, and I don't know if everyone would agree with it or not, but I think it would be a good idea, is I would change the league format back to the old league format, which was the league starts after the winter break and runs throughout the year. Players obviously still get a month off or whatever over summer, but like the league's halfway through. I think that the league, I don't like how it's broken up that like right now after 3 months, you know, players are going back and it's like 20 games into the season. I never liked that. Apparently it
Right.
was for Russian clubs to do better in Europe. How has that gone? Um,
Not well.
I actually think that it would make more sense. I like correct me if I'm wrong, but I actually think it makes more sense where teams like let's say like all the teams that are going for the later stages of the league, right? If they're trying to get into a Champions League or Europa League or trying to win the league or whatever, they're playing at a really high standard, and then they're also going to play at the Champions League. I think that's better rather than the teams that like right now. It seems like the Russian teams are really sleepy when it gets to um,
Yeah.
European football. Like that's the only way I can describe it. And look, people might bring up the argument that like at the end of the season, when the stakes are high, the Russian clubs will just focus on the league and not on Europe. But it seems to me that that's what they're doing right now anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first thing I'd do. The second thing I'd do was ban farm teams, Zenit 2, Spartak 2, Krasnodar 2, all of those teams from competing in professional football. Or like what I mean by professional football is professional leagues like the FNL. I'd
Yeah.
make them their own league. Third, I'd take away the foreigner limit. Maybe I'd put in a quota to say that there has to be a certain amount of homegrown players or Russian players in the squad, but it wouldn't be outrageous. Maybe like 5 players or something like that for the whole squad, 18 players. I don't think that's outrageous either. That those are the main changes I would make. What do
I
you
agree.
think? Like,
Yeah, I
what
agree
would you
with.
do?
I think first of all, I kill the limit, obviously. Um, and I am the dictator, so I mean I can kill the limit. But otherwise, if that wasn't allowed, if like Putin told me, yeah, no, no, chief, you can't do that, then I would say that okay, fine. Well, then I'm gonna make every former Soviet country exempt from the limit. I think that would be good enough, at least. Then I'd like you say, I'd implement like a quota for like you need to have like on FM like 6 Russian players in your squad, 8 Russian players in your squad, something like that. The RPL, I don't know about the calendar honestly, because I've not really seen too much of the winter calendar. It's I don't know the impact it will have, but I'm not mad at it going back to a summer league, I guess is what it's called. So I'm open to that. I don't really have much of an opinion on that. I think the RPL's format, I think I can keep at 16. I think, like you say, I'm going to create a separate league for the farm clubs. I think I would create a league of 2 clubs, and then the U19 league and the U18 league, those can go on their own. Because currently, if you look at the PFL, like some of those leagues, like half of those leagues are just like Dynamo 2, Krylia 2. like really are not good enough to have a two, right? So Ural 2 is a thing, UFA 2 is a thing, and they're all in the PFL. They're not, no, like, get that out. I think PFL as well, I would keep I want the East to have its separate league. And FNL, I would probably keep at 20 teams or something and split it up into East or West. That's what I do. But I think in terms of the format, I don't think there's much wrong with Russian football. I think it's the fact that it's just marketed pretty terribly. So maybe I would give like the marketing rights and the rights to sell TV rights and stuff to a foreign company, because there are such companies and they do a pretty good job. That would be one thing. I think I would also do like a privatization drive, just so we can get off this dependency on like municipal governments funding these clubs. And I do think that people will buy clubs and people will have an interest in clubs just because Russia is an untapped market, we know that, but no one really looks to Russia to buy clubs. Do you think Russian clubs would be like attractive to foreign buyers, like Red Bull or City Football Group, or just businessmen, just private businessmen?
I mean, they were attractive to Red Bull and Citigroup. Like
Exactly.
that's what the rumors around UFA were saying. But I think in general, though, I don't think they're it's an attractive league. And like just that's just being blunt. There's not enough money there, and with the restrictions there with Russian players and everything, it just doesn't really make sense. Like you can't even become like a farm. Like you can't just buy players from foreign teams and bring them up and play them in Russia and then sell them on to bigger Russian clubs or sell them on abroad, because you can only have a certain amount of foreigners. So you've
Yeah.
got to be really decisive with who you want. I really don't think that um any foreign investors in the current state would want to put their money into Russian football.
That's what I do like your thing. I think if if the limit was removed or if Russian players just became more attractive, and I hope Miranchuk and Kokorin and Shomurodov help that, I do feel like that could be a pathway for a few Russian clubs, because I mean the ruble is trash, and because the ruble is trash, like gate receipts are really low. Um, TV rights are pretty terrible, and they're not doing a good job of selling them. So maybe like Croatia, like Serbia, like Belgium, the Netherlands, like Portugal. I feel like if Russia became a talent hub, that's the only way more money will come in. And once you get the talent money, let's be honest, like UFA are doing a pretty good job, and they're sustained basically off buying players and selling them, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I feel like if Russian players do become valued, I think good things will happen.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
There's opportunities there, but it's just in the current state, and like, do you see it changing anytime soon? Because I don't. That's just what I'm thinking. Like,
I do, I guess. I feel like one good season back in Europe. I feel like a few good players from Russia doing well abroad. I think that will help, and I think if like Rotor succeed with their Kazakhs, I feel like more people will look at the EAEU and help them out. I don't know. I hope so. Maybe I am a hopeless optimist, but I do hope that it does happen. Um, but yeah, now we've gone on for an hour. We have anything else to discuss, Artem? Anything that's on your mind?
no, I think that's pretty much it for this week. Like,
Yeah. To leave you, by the way, Artem, is this the best signing announcement in history?
did they sign a builder?
They've signed a football player, some Uzbekistani club. How do you get in this situation as a signing announcement?
Watch
Like,
now.
did
The
they?
footballer is actually the guy on the right.
Like, was he working at a construction site and they just like, you're right now, sign the contract now? Unreal. This is the type of shit that only happens in Uzbekistan. Um, but yeah, it's been great as always. Thanks a lot if you have listened to the end. And this time, you know what, Artem, I'm going to do the honors. You
Go
guys
for
need
it.
to You guys need to gold star, gold medal on Sportrex, like on YouTube, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want, interact with us, talk to us. We do have some interesting content coming up. It may be from RFN, it may be from our own end, maybe from both. So keep your eyes peeled out for that. And yeah, thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.